Hello yogis, hello Journey Junkie tribe. Welcome back to the Zen Den. And actually, welcome to the Zen Den for our final practice here in this space. Today's class is a Back to Yoga Basics. It's part of our series and it's a beginner strength flow. Remember, if you are not part of our online tribe, click the link in the description below. Please come join us. Such an incredible community is waiting for you. Today's class is just like it sounds. We're going to start to cultivate strength to further support our yoga practice. I do recommend having a blanket or a towel nearby, as we will be doing a frog pose later, and it's really helpful for the knees. Other than that, unroll your yoga mat. Let's enjoy this last practice in this beautiful space together. All right, yogis, we are starting on our backs. So make your way there. Once you get down onto your back, take your feet about as wide as your yoga mat, and then allow the knees to gently spill in towards one another. They don't need to touch. They are just gently gliding in towards one another. Hands rest down by your sides. The purpose of this pose is, you should feel it, your low back is nice and flat. The pelvis and the sacrum are releasing. A lot of space is being made. It's a very comforting posture if you're having any sort of low back pain. So we'll take 5 breaths here to center and ground in this moment. Last breath, big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Heel toe the feet together. And bring the knees to come directly above the hips. So ankles are in line with knees, hips are stacked underneath the knees. Okay, I hope I explained that well enough. If not, peer up here. You have to engage your low belly in order for this to line up. Okay, once you're here, hands down by your sides, really hug the low belly in. We're going to tap the left foot to the ground. So start to lower the left foot to the ground, just to a hover, and bring it back up. Really controlled movement here. Try to keep the low back on the earth the entire time. Lower to a hover, and inhale it back up. 3 more. Lower, inhale back up. 2 more. Lower, and back up. Last time, lower, and lift it back up. Switch to the other side. Low belly hugs in. Right leg lowers. Bring it back up. Nice core work, nice hip flexor work. Lower. And up. 3 more. Lower. And up. And last 2. Last 1. Both knees are together now. We'll lower both legs 5 times to a hover. Hug the low belly in. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, lower. Bring it back up. And lower. Back up. 3 more. You got it. 2. Last 1. Lower it down. Inhale it up. And bring both knees into the chest. It wouldn't be a final yoga class without our neighbor saying hello. Roll from side to side and make your way up into tabletop pose, choosing to come onto your side and lift up, or hands behind the thighs and start to roll forward and back. Use your core to roll up and down. Once you get there, come into tabletop pose. Like we've been doing this entire series, move through a few cat-cows on your own, inhaling to open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Last round. Come to neutral tabletop. Extend the left leg straight back behind you, toes on the ground, and push back with your hands to get a nice calf stretch. Inhale back to neutral, shoulders over wrists, and lift the back left leg. Roll the hip down in line with the right, hug the belly up, push the ground away, active arms, take an inhale breath. Exhale to bend the knee and bring knee to nose. Send it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Send it back. Try to connect that knee to nose. Hug it in. 2 more, send it back. Exhale, knee to nose. The trick is to really push the ground away and round the back. Last time. Send it back and hold for 3 breaths. You got it. Nice, strong, active leg. Push the earth away. And set it down. Wag your tail, which means send the hips from side to side. And neutral tabletop, send the right leg back. Push into the ground and stretch the right calf muscle. Come forward, shoulders stack over wrists, lift the right leg, roll the right hip down, hug the belly in, push the ground away. Big inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, round. Send it back. Exhale. Send it back. Control the movement. Exhale. Send it back. Exhale. Send it back. Last time, exhale. And send it back and hold for 3. Last time. And release it down. Wag your hips just for a moment. Make any movements you need. And then here we go, moving into baby chaturangas. So we'll do 5. Here we go. Inhale, breath. Exhale, bend the elbows, hug them into the sides, firm up the core. Come up. Inhale. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Lift. 2 more. Last time, this time we'll go all the way down. Exhale. Lower all the way down to the ground. Cobra pose. Push your hands into the earth. Firm up the legs. Lift the chest. Roll shoulders back. And lower down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. You're using your back muscles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Crocodile, left hand on top of right. Soften the forehead to the hands. Take a moment. Alrighty. Bring hands to goal posts. So elbows in line with the shoulders, forehead on the earth. Firm up your legs. On an inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lower to a hover. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Relax for a moment. Cross the right ankle over left. Interlace the hands behind the back. Make a basket-like shape. On the inhale, lift everything up. Think length over height here. How long can you get? One more breath. Lower down. Immediately switch the cross of the ankles. Switch the binding so the weird pinky finger is on top. On an inhale, lift back up. And lower down. Hands to low ribs. Push back. Take the knees wide. Find child's pose. Balasana. Hips go back. Arms reach forward. Chest melts down. Forehead rests. Take 3 breaths. Alrighty, a little bit of strength going on. Inhale to come forward. Come onto your forearms. Step your feet back, forearm plank. We hold for 5. You got it. Feel free to drop your knees if you need to. Hug the belly up and in. Breathe it out. Firm legs. Last inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, lower the pelvis, come into Sphinx pose, lift the heart. Last inhale. Exhale, lower the chest, slide the hands back, come back into child's pose. Take the knees wide, rest for 3 breaths. Inhale, come forward, back into forearm plank. 5 breaths, you got it. Last inhale. Exhale, soften knees, soften the pelvis down, lift the heart, Sphinx pose. Really use the hands to traction the heart through. Last breath. Exhale, lower the torso down, slide the hands back. This time, curl the toes under, push up, plank pose. Big breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. So first down dog, you're going to hear me and other teachers say a lot to walk it out, bicycle it out, bend the knees, make organic movements. And that's because it's a transition posture and it has the ability to be incredibly strong or incredibly soft. And when you're just warming up, we want to encourage you to find the pose that's best for you in that moment. It might be your first time on the mat in a week, in which you really need to be kind to the hamstrings. Or you might be practicing every day, in which you straighten the legs and send the heels down to the earth. So when a teacher offers this, take the time to fine-tune the pose. Alrighty, a little bit of flowing. Inhale the right leg high. And then exhale, knee to nose, same like we did on the ground. Inhale it high, knee to nose. Inhale it high. This time we're going to plant it between the hands. So really round the back, pick up the knee, plant the foot. If you can't get the foot up there, simply take your hand and pick the foot up and place it there. No big deal. Once you get there, bend deeply into the front knee, lift up into crescent pose, high lunge. We're stacking the knee over the ankle. The back leg is super strong. If you're finding that it's too much pressure, bend the knee, hug the hip points up, really place the pelvis, and then re-straighten the leg if you can. Alrighty, inhale the arms high, nice big lift here, 3 breaths. Strong active posture. Last inhale. Exhale, hands to hips, and I want you to hop the back foot in halfway. We're coming into warrior 3, which we did last time with blocks, yeah? So here we go. Hinge forward, start to lift the back leg as you bring the torso down. Roll the left hip down if you can, energize the back leg, hug the core in. If you want, you can keep hands at hips. You can send them back for airplane, or the full pose is arms extended, which is so difficult. 2 more breaths. Next inhale, bend into the knee, come all the way up into mountain pose. Both feet are next to one another. Take a moment. Alrighty, hands to goalposts. Lift the left knee into the chest, but you only want to lift it until the hips are squared. So if your left hip is hiked super high, it's not helping you out. Square the hips and then lift the knee. Okay. Arms at goal pose. This is dancing Shiva. Take 3 breaths. Left foot is active. Right foot is rooting down to stabilize the pose. Chest is open. 1 more inhale. Exhale, hands to hips, and kick the left foot out for staff pose. We hold for 3. Stand up nice and straight. Last inhale. Exhale, let it go. Whew. Do a little dance. Get all that tension out. Alrighty, top of the mat, we're already there. Inhale the arms high. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to lift the chest. Halfway. Exhale, step back, plank pose. We'll hold for 5 breaths. Strong plank means that we have strong arms, space in the upper back, belly hugging up and in, legs are active. We breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, pike the hips, come back into downward facing dog. So once you start doing all this moving, you'll really notice how downward facing dog does become a resting posture. I know for many of us when we start, and the yoga teacher says that, it's almost a joke, because it is a joke. But once you get into your practice, you'll really start to learn and love that this posture is a resting moment. Alrighty, other side. Inhale that left leg high up to the sky for 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose round. Inhale it high. Knee to nose. Inhale it high. This time we're going to plant it. So round, plant the foot. Pull it up there if you need to. Bend deeply into the knee and then rise up for crescent pose. High lunge. Strong back leg, hugging the hip points high, lifting through the heart. 3 breaths. Last inhale. Exhale, hands to hips. Hop the back foot in about halfway to help you transition. Start to bend the knee, Slowly lift the back leg, coming into 𝗪𝗏 3. Feel free to keep the standing leg nice and bent. Reach through the crown of the head as you send the toes back in space. 2 more breaths. And inhale to lift the chest, plant the right foot next to the left. Here we go, dancing Shiva. Hands at goalpost. On an inhale, lift that right leg. Take a moment to recalibrate the hips and then lift the leg a little bit higher. We breathe here for 3. Open chest. Hands to hips. Shoot the right leg out. Standing staff pose for 3. Stand up nice and tall. 1 more breath, lift it higher. Whew, and step it down and do a little dance. Get all the tension out. All right, here we go. Last standing transition, and we'll get down to the ground. So inhale the arms high. Exhale to fold. If you're a regular practitioner, feel free to vinyasa here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. We hold for 5. Strong body here. Everything is working together. We're integrating. Last breath. And exhale to bring the knees down. If you have that blanket, let's set it up for frog pose. The best way to set it up is to take it across the mat, nice and wide. You can also use a towel or anything that's going to help your knees have some extra cushion. From here, we come onto the blanket and start to send the knees out nice and wide. And the blanket also makes it a little bit more slippery. Then we want to bring the ankles in line with the knees and flex the toes. Alrighty. Once you feel comfortable, start to walk down onto forearms, or maybe you're propped up on blocks. And you can let the belly sag here. It is a bit of a heart opener. And we're going to breathe here. Frog pose is not only physically tough, but mentally tough. So your job is to recruit the breath and stay really present in the moment and send your breath to the spaces where you have tension, where you feel stuck, where you need to further open the body. So that's your job here in this moment. Breathe, send the breath, stay present. Feel free to close the eyes. If you find yourself really loosening up, you can slowly start to walk it down further with your arms. And then if you go too far, like I did, come back out of it. So sometimes the body tricks you, and it's our job to know when to listen and when to back out. Halfway there. 3 more breaths here. You got it. Stay with it. Last inhale. If you're on blocks, remove them, and this is how we're going to come out. You're going to hinge forward all the way till your chest reaches the ground, and then slide the legs together. Oh, yeah. And then you can bring one hand on top of the other, rest the forehead down, bend the knees, and windshield wipe the legs from side to side. Alrighty, last posture of this class, bow pose, 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏. So we're perfectly set up. Bend the knees, reach back with your hands to clasp the top of the foot or the ankle, whatever you can grab. And from here, keeping the knees together as much as you can, they will splay out. We're going to inhale and kick our feet into our hands and lift our chest and roll our shoulders open. We'll breathe for 3 here. So on an inhale, push the pelvis into the earth, hug the belly in, and come on up. We'll hold for 3. Remember to breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. Hands, forehead rest on hands, and shimmy your hips. Alrighty, one more time. Bend the knees, reach back for the tops of the feet or the ankles. Forehead rest down, prepare, big inhale, and come on up. Breathe for 3. And slowly lower down. Forehead rest, shimmy those hips. Alrighty, from here, simply roll onto your back. And we're setting up for Shavasana. So nice and easy transition. Legs go as wide as the mat or wider. Hands down by your side. Relax the shoulders. Big cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth. Let it go. Again, big inhale. Let it go. Last time. And now I invite you to fully surrender into your efforts. Let the body and the mind and the soul connect. Let yourself take rest. Shavasana. Gently begin to invite deeper breaths. Feel the belly rise and fall, the rib cage expand and contract, and your body and your mind and your soul awaken. When you're ready, invite the micro movements of fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. And inhale the arms overhead, stretch long, feel that sense of renewal. Bend the knees, come onto your favorite side for fetal pose. This is a symbolic pose for rebirth. Thank yourself for stepping on the mat and doing the work. Push your palm into the earth, lift your body up, meet me in a seated position. Rooting down through your sitting bones, lifting up through your spine. Inhale the arms out to the side. Gather up everything you've created here today. Exhale the hands down through heart center. And we will seal this practice and the many practices that have unfolded here in this sacred space together with an Om. So big inhale. Bring thumbs to forehead, gently bow. The light in me sees, honors, and respects the light in each of you. Namaste. Release the hands, open the eyes. I'm not going to cry. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat. I'm going to cry. Okay. For those of you that are new to the tribe, you're probably like, why is she crying? But for those of you who have been here in this Zen Den for so many years now and so many practices and so many moments and experiences, I can't thank you enough for joining me in this space and welcoming this space into your home and for doing the work to live your journey. So remember, if you're not part of our tribe, this is why you should join, because this is how real it gets. I love you, thank you, and I will meet you in our new den for the next practice. Thank you so much. Namaste.